Hello, welcome to the Knit Girls. This is episode 214. I'm Laura, also known as Lala.
I'm Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les. And yeah, we skipped a week because we had this thing going on. And we'll talk more about SSK in Favorite Things. We'll try to keep most of that chatter until then. And I just realized I'm not wearing my earbuds, so you might hear an echo. So let me fix that.
I should pay more attention and tell you when you're doing stuff like that, but I don't.
Yeah, well, I just, when we're sitting here chatting, I forget. So anyway, knitting. What have you got going on?
That's good because I just got to the end of a row. Good job, Leslie. I am knitting on a pair of just toe-up, stripy, plain vanilla socks using size 1, 2.25 millimeter needles and coloring book yarn, which is an indie dyer she sells on Etsy. And this colorway is Play, and it goes from a gray to a seafoam green to a marigold yellow to a light pink to a red. And I'm digging it. And this is what I took to SSK that got maybe 5 stitches worked on it. Maybe.
Yeah. I did not knit from when we turned off the camera last time until I got home. So
there you go. But you've made up for it now.
I've knit some.
And then, and that's in my Bling Your String bag. And Bling Your String is doing, this was her tea club, and she's started a new round of clubs. Mm-hmm. So you should totally check them out. You can find them at blingyourstring.com. She's doing a geeky chic one, which sounds really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then, a botanical print one, and some other really cool stuff. So, excited about that. And then I have another bag, a giant bag filled with giant goodness. And this has in it, my shawl. Just my needles are really too small for the shawl, itself, the size, the wingspan, because it's it's right around 400 stitches now. And this is Stucco by Rose Beck. That is the wrong side that you are seeing. And this is the right side. So it is a crescent-shaped shawl that increases 4 stitches really cleverly on the right side, and then 2 stitches on the wrong side. And then towards the end, it does a stockinette garter pattern. And towards the bottom, it's got that really cool detail. It's formed by lots of increases and double wraps and decreases. So I have 8 more rows to go on this. Yeah, 8 more rows to go, maybe 10. And then it will be done. This is my Camp Loopy. I'm hoping to get it done tonight. We'll see how motivated I get.
So when does it have to be done for Camp Loopy?
By the end of the month.
Oh, okay.
So I cast it on last Sunday when I got home. And this is the 600-yard project.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is my second skein of skein.
Skein.
And this is what it looks like when it's done. Let me show you what Humberto has been doing lately. Eating paper, because he's such a treat to have along around. That's what it looks like when it's all done. I actually did a Rosebeck shawl last year, too. They are awesome, and I love that one. I did the violets one, so that's my favorite. Oh, anyway, back to the yarn. Skein DK. It comes in put-ups of 280 yards. So I'm almost done. I have this much left of the second, which will be 40 short of what I need, 40 yards short of my 600. So then I'll break into this. But it's using up a lot of yarn per row. So, and if I need to make it a little bit longer, do a couple more repeats, I can totally do that. Yeah. It's being knit on size 6 needles. I have it on my Addy Clicks, because that was the longest needle that I could find. 6s are very popular in my house. I have 5 projects on size 6 needles.
You do a lot of shawls and fingering weight are a lot of times around 6s.
Yeah, and jackaroos on 6s.
That's true.
And some other things are on 6s, so there are lots of 6s going on. And I found a project. Haha, when I was unpacking a box in my garage, which was on 5s, not 6s, but Still, I found another project, which is very sad. So this is Stucco by Rose Beck, and it's getting there. Hopefully it'll be done. I've been knitting 65 yards on it a night, which comes out to around 25 grams. So just to make sure it gets done in time. Because I'm super, like...
You are driven by deadlines.
Well, I didn't know what I was going to do. For Camp Loopy, I bought the yarn, and I was like, well, I'll find something that I want to knit out of this yarn. That's 600 yards. So then I was looking and looking and looking, and finally, after a month, I found this. So, and I knew that I wouldn't be able to work on it at SSK. And before SSK, I was like, oh, like, yes, Tour de Fleece, gonna do this, and then I lost part of my roving, and we'll get into that later. And it killed TDF for me, so. Anyway, what are you working on so quietly over there?
That was a very southern twang you just threw into that word. I'm only working on one thing actively right now. I finished sock number 1 in the Caterpillar Green yarn.
Pretty. You had finished that. You had almost finished that, right?
Well, at SSK it was like around here.
Okay.
Yeah, I had turned the heel and worked down the foot. I just hadn't, I got home. I think I finished the sock Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know.
It's pretty. I like it.
So I finished sock number 1 and started sock number 2 and then put it down. And pretty much have barely worked on it. I'm about to start the patterning. This is just the cuff. And I'm using, again, that is Caterpillar Green yarns, and it's in the Concrete and Tulips colorway. You can find her at caterpillargreenyarns.com. It's living in my Bling Your String bag.
Cool.
And I swatched for a sweater. I hope to have that started sometime in the next couple weeks. And it's for the Trick, T-R-I-C, by Asa Tricota.
Yeah.
It's a top-down... It's a new...
It's like a compound raglan?
Oh, I don't know. It's a new structure for me, like a new technique. It's kind of similar to the Susie's set-in sleeves or whatever.
Yeah.
But she calls it a zigger knot.
Interesting.
Zigger knot technique. So, I don't know. I haven't used it, so I wanted to try. But I swatched out of Highland Handmaids in the Butternut DK in the slate colorway.
I love the color gray.
Yeah, this is like a dusty blue gray. And it's got Polworth and silk. Actually haven't measured to see if it's going to work or not. I just soaked it last night and then hung it so the weight of it would mimic what it will do when it's on my body. So I actually need to measure it, but that's really the only thing that I'm actively working on.
Cool. But you finished some things and I did not, so therefore you must continue.
Actually, I am working on the View From Here hat, which was part of the Desert Vista Dye Works pre-order.
Yeah,
but I left it upstairs, and it's all I've got is the black ribbing so far, so it wouldn't be very exciting anyway. But I did finish. I'm using Laura's friend. I want to say it's Joanne, J-I-O. Okay, it's Joanne.
Joanne or Joanna. Oh, I hate it when I forget stupid stuff like that.
One of those two.
She's really active in the Memphis Knitting Guild and super sweet.
She has a bag company, and it's called Slanted Stitches, and so she brought a bag as a gift. And it's one of those that uses like the metal closure, so it snaps shut.
I like that. I like that there's no zippers. Yeah, although I like bags with zippers too.
Yeah, I mean, I think every bag
has pockets on the inside, right?
It does, and there's a pocket on the outside here. It's just slanted.
So you can label what's in there. That's cool.
Yeah. As well as a little fob on the inside. But anyway, I finished the Molly hat. This is a free pattern on Ravelry. And I've seen a lot of people knit it lately, and it made me want to knit it. And while we were in Nashville, we stopped by House of Yarn. Laura went to both Bliss and House, but I was busy at the time that they went to Bliss, so I didn't go. But I went to House, and so she had this Jill Draper in this blood orange colorway.
It's so pretty.
I'm really not an orange person usually, but I really liked this color. So I knit the Molly hat. I finished it last night.
Is it for you or is it for someone else?
I do not know. I haven't decided. So this is what it looks like. It's kind of a little bit slouchy, but not a lot. Got caught on a bobby pin.
That's
Wow,
a very flattering look for you.
Yeah, and it's blurring out like crazy because it's so orange. But it's very clever. The cable decreases are done very cleverly. And it's really simple. My only complaint is that every third row is knit one, purl one. I hate that.
How dare it have texture?
I know. I love the look of it. I just hate doing it. But anyway, it was very simple. Took me maybe 8 hours of knitting, maybe a little bit more. I was watching Downton Abbey because I'm the last person apparently to watch the 4th season.
I haven't watched it yet. I stopped after season 2.
Yeah, it was kind of a shocker in the 2nd episode of this season, and it made me very unhappy. But
unhappy things started happening because it's a war.
It continues in that trend.
It's not like war gets any better or cheerful.
So anyway, I finished that. It called for, I think this was a 240 yard skein. I probably used around 200-ish yards, and it's a worsted weight.
Cool.
And it was a pleasant knit.
Good.
I don't remember what size needles I used. I think
you just took them out of the bag. I bet you could figure it out.
No, that was a hair headband.
Oh. I was like...
And actually, I was looking for that because I put this hat on last night to send a picture.
Uh-huh.
And then I couldn't find my headband, so now I found it. Anyway, I think I used 6. Whatever the pattern called for, I went up a size because I pretty much have to do that all the time. So now I just do that by default. And that's it.
There
I
you
have
go.
some spinning, though, but you have some fleece you've been working on, right?
I do. I have some Cormo. So, I'm a member of the Harry Potter House Cup, and so I did propose an owl this term. They work on 3-month terms, so you have 3 months. I always am total procrastinator. Like most people, propose. Most of the people who are on the ball, which is never me, propose their owls the first day of the term, and then they get approved a couple days later, and then they start immediately, and they're awesomely gung ho, and they're working really hard. I typically propose mine. You get the first month to propose an owl. I'm always the second to last day on the first month.
Under the wire.
Under the wire, and then it was approved. So Leslie and I went to Maryland Sheep and Wool this year, and we got 3 fleeces, one of which was a Cormo fleece. And for my owl, I decided to process my half, which was around 3.2, 3.3 pounds of Cormo. So I took the dirty locks and I washed them. And after I washed them, they come out and they look like this. Come on, locks. Stick with me here. And the Cormo, because it was coated, but when they coated it, they didn't switch the coats fast enough. So the tips got a little bit matted, and there's some it's a little bit darker. So what I'm having to do is I'm having to flick them, which is super fun. So that was sarcasm. So I have this awesome wire brush, basically, that's kind of like a dog brush. And I have a lap cloth, which is around here. Oh, it's over here. Let's see if I can still make it. Can I make it? Can I make it? Yes! So I have this lap cloth, which you can see is getting a little bit frayed where I'm flicking the wire brush. So this really awesome lap cloth that's made by fibercatcher.com. And I set it on my lap, and I grab one of the locks, or 2 of the locks, a bit of locks, and I give them a little twist, and I hold it down here, and on top of the cloth I flick like that. And I am very bad at this process because I constantly catch my fingers with the wire brush. And this is why you should always have a tetanus shot before you start processing any kind of raw fleece, because I'm not so good. But anyway, so I flick these open, And when I do that, they become floofy, like this. So that's the difference. And then I run it through the drum carder, and it creates a bat. And then I've been spinning it. So this is my second bobbin. Well, this is my first bobbin. My second bobbin's almost this full, and then I have a third bobbin. And for the owl, what I proposed was to wash all the fleece. Check. Flick and then card all the fleece. This is all I have left. That is 3 ounces.
Wow.
So almost done with that. And then spin 4 ounces into a 3-ply. Well, this is actually 3.2 ounces on this bobbin, and I have another 3 ounces on another bobbin. So I'm going to try to get at least 3 ounces on a third bobbin, and then 3-ply them by, what is it, Friday? Is that the last day?
Oof.
Yeah, we'll see. I've been working pretty diligently on it. 3 ounces is not, like, a terrible amount to get spun. Because really, I'm almost done with that bobbin. I have, like, maybe 1/4 of an ounce still to fit on it. So, but really, all I have to do is spin 1.5 ounces and then 3-ply, and I'll be done. So, I have 3 ounces left to flick, and I've been doing around 2 ounces a day, so not too bad. 2 ounces takes me around 1 hour and 10 minutes to flick, if my wrist is not grumpy. Because it is a lot of, like,
repetitive motion.
It's repetitive motion, but also, like, you're pulling against something to try to flick it out, so you're using those muscles, too. So, really, I could probably get all 3 ounces done in, like, 2 hours. So, we'll see. So that's what I've been working on. No other spinning but that, because it's deadline. It's due by the end of the month. Because that's how we roll over here with our deadlines.
You're making a lot of progress, though. I haven't touched my fleeces, really.
So I've been doing, like, 65 yards on the shawl a day. And then I read for a little bit. And then I switch to 2 ounces of flicking. And then I read a little bit. And then I spin for, like, half an hour. But I've been going up to school. Instead of reading a little bit in between, I've been doing school stuff. So it's been more like, I have an hour of free time in the morning. Let's get this done. Okay, back from class at like 2. I've got another couple hours. So it's getting there. But it's good to switch it up. I'm enjoying switching it up. And it's different muscles. So it's not hurting as much as it could be if I was doing the same thing straight for 6 hours when I get home. Yeah. So that's it for me. My tour de fleece. So I was spinning some gorgeous Hello yarn called Black on Holiday, and I just started it before we went to SSK, and I talked about it being in my bag and not wanting to take it out. Well, I had divided it into thirds. Actually, I do have the first bobbin of that done, but it's in the other room. And I'd spun the first third and took it with me to SSK because I was going to have all this free time at SSK to sit and spin, because that's what happens.
Yeah.
And somehow a third of it got lost. So a good online friend, I think maybe I have met Continental Kim. I think she was at Stitches South once. Anyway, she's a really wonderful person. We talk about fleece prep a lot on Instagram, back and forth on pictures. Mm-hmm. And she bought more than one bag, so she is sending me one of her bags, and I'm sending her something else in return.
That's nice.
So we're trading. So I'll have another third to finish that, because that, like, totally killed my whole tour. Yeah. Like, I did not want to look at my wheels. I did not want to go near the mini spinner. I did not want to pull it out. Like, I was just mad. Yeah. Like, and I'm not mad at a person. I'm mad at myself, because I know better than to take stuff like that.
Well, because, especially with when we do our retreat, we do, the tasting room, which involves basically taking our own equipment and putting it in there and letting people use it, right? And that's fine. I have no objection to that. But in all that shuffle of, getting it in there and then putting it away and all the other...
And we have to do it really quick because we're using that same room for teaching the next morning.
And then
I don't blame anyone but myself, because I know better.
It's hard to keep up with stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So that's why we prefer not to have other people's stuff in there, just because it's hard enough keeping up with our stuff.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I'm glad that you're getting some more of that
It's
black on
pretty,
holiday.
too. So, it makes me happy. And then I'll have another, like, 2/3 of a braid that I can divide again into thirds and have a little bit extra, actually. So I can do maybe a little bit of a larger project. So, see, it all
Nice.
works out for the best.
Yes,
But,
crafty people are
anyway,
nice.
you've been spinning.
I did. I spun a little bit this week. So after SSK, I never plan enough like recovery time for me, which sounds like I was in an accident or something, but it's just mentally tiring to sort of be on all that time. And I don't say that as any sort of woe is me, because I really enjoy it. I just need I need to better plan in like a couple days off afterwards so I can sleep and just sort of catch up and refresh. So I got in super late.
Yeah, the thing is you're driving, too.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like it's a 3-hour drive like it is for me. For you, it's at least 13 hours.
Yeah, so I left at 9 a.m. and got home at 1:30 a.m. the next day. So, yeah, it took a lot out of me, but I had already spun half of this, so I spun the other half and plied it.
It's really pretty.
This is Gail's art, in her, I think it's all BFL, or maybe it's just all wools, and it's got natural and dyed dark wools in there.
It's her humbug. I think it's her BFL humbug.
It could be. I don't have the tag with me, but because I'm so prepared. I think this is what Ooh Fancy Pants just spun a sweater's worth out of.
Pretty.
I'm pretty sure it is. I spun it thick and got 170 yards of a 2-ply.
Do you have any plans for it?
I don't. No, I just wanted to spin it. I enjoyed the process. Gail's bare fibers are one of my favorites, just because
I bought some at
she
SSK.
does
Yeah.
beautiful, like, just plain alpaca silk blends, or plain Polworth silk blends. She does beautiful, just natural colored fibers. So.
And then she does gorgeous colored fiber.
She does. Too. Yeah, I just have a soft spot for her natural stuff. And then I spun.
It could be her Polworth silk, because she does an undyed humbug Polworth silk.
No, this
too.
I know is just wools. I just don't know if it's only BFL or what. I spun that colorway name. And Hello Yarn.
Nardies.
Yeah. Mignardies. I don't know. Anyway, it was Falkland, and it was 4 ounces. And in my quest to be more like Jessica, Show Me Your Knits, who's spinning, I think, is always
that's
beautiful.
Pretty.
I did a 3-ply, and actually got more out of the 3-ply than I did out of the 2-ply. I ended up with 264 yards of a 3-ply.
Big, gorgeous hat.
So, don't know what I want to do with it yet. Just wanted to spin it.
It's pretty.
So I did this on one of my mental health recovery days. I love my boss. I live in Jersey, and she lives in Vegas. And we've known each other for a long time. Before she was my boss, I knew her. But I texted her early on Wednesday, and I was like, look, I'm sorry, I'm wiped. I need a mental health day. And she was like, okay, see you tomorrow. So I really, really love my boss.
That was nice.
Yeah. So anyway, those are my 2 spinning things I did this week.
Cool.
I'm not certain if I'll spin this coming week. We'll see.
I will be spinning this week.
You will. I'm so impressed with all the progress you've made on that fleece.
If I can get, because one of the things I bought at SSK is another fleece. So if I can get a fleece done every 3 months, that'll make me happy, because I'm up to 4 now. The one that I got at SSK from Ross Farms is a gorgeous, gorgeous Romney. Laura Nelkin was sitting beside me when I was inspecting it. She's so pretty. And it's 10 pounds. So that's a lot.
It really is.
2 pounds of it is going to my sister Beck, but I'm washing it for her, and I'll probably do all the processing for her, because she's not set, like, she doesn't have a drum carder. She's not set up for that. I won't make her, unless she wants to hand comb it, because they are longer locks.
Yeah, it probably would work well for a comb.
So she has the patience to comb, probably. I do not have patience to comb. I'll show you all that fleece later. It's in the garage right now. So, because it hasn't been washed yet, and dirty fleeces are not entering the house. So, not that it's any dirtier than anything else, but Humberto he's been a little bit smitten by the dirty fleece lately, so they're staying out in the garage. Anyway, well, thank you. I think I'm doing okay. A fleece every 3 months.
You're making a heck of a lot more progress than I am.
I told you we should Skype and you should work on your fleeces. The cool thing about fleeces, especially during the washing process, is you can do other things.
Yeah.
Because it's like, hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. So you can get a lot of other stuff done. And like, because it's 20 minutes that it sits, I put on an episode of whatever. That's basically 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Depending. So we, speaking of spinning, have a question from Aberdonian, who I've known for a long time. She's one of the FOP people. And she's got a spinning question. Are you right or left-handed? And what is your drafting hand? When I went to pick up a wheel, the woman thought it was strange that I was right-handed, but I drafted with my left hand. So
I do the same.
I do as well. And that is all Mama Linneman's fault.
Yes. When we were wee little beginner spinners, Mama Linneman taught us the basics, and Mama Linneman is left-handed, so we mimicked her. And now, until like I was spinning that way for so long before I realized that as a right-hander, usually your right hand controls the twist.
Nope.
That now it's too late. I can't change.
I've changed like when I if I'm having wrist pain, I try to change every once in a while, but it's definitely, eventually I would like to be ambidextrous with my drafting. But here's a Mama Linneman story for you. Never allow Mama Linneman to give you directions.
This is true.
Because when Mama Linneman, and I say that lovingly, having been in a canoe with her and my father.
She's wonderful at many, many things.
So in the 1950s, when Mama Linneman went to school, they taught you that the hand that you wrote with is your right hand. And she writes with her left hand, which she sometimes will call her right hand.
Well, when you're taught that at such an early age, and it's like hammered into your brain, I can see that.
It's hilarious when her and Wheezy, my father, are canoeing. And my mother is giving directions, because she's in the front, and the person in the back kind of controls which way the canoe's going. To my father, like, oh, there's a rock to the right, and really, that rock is on the left. And it is hilarious.
Probably less so for Wheezy, but...
No. Wheezy does not enjoy that. There's a great picture somewhere of Beck when she's like 5. So I would sit like towards the front, and my brother would sit towards the back, and Beck was always in the middle. And she's like, they've capsized the canoe, and she's clinging. She might be 5. She's got her life preserver on. It's fine. And Linneman family shenanigans. And she's clinging like a cat to the side, tipped over, like it's halfway up, and she's clinging like a little cat. Super cute.
She's got survival instincts, that one.
She does. You have to be a Linneman. Even a Linneman by proxy. So, Leslie, and back to the question. Leslie and I both draft with our left hands. Because that is the way that we were taught by my mother, who is left-handed. Who holds up hope that Alice, my niece, is left-handed too. She's super excited that she might be.
But I would sort of... You know how we say it doesn't matter how you knit as long as, like... As long as you're enjoying it, you're doing it right. I would say the same applies.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
If
there's
you're
no
getting
right or
yarn
way.
and you're enjoying the process, then you're doing it right.
And I've never had a big name spinning teacher come to me and be like, oh my gosh, you're right-handed, but you're drafting left-handed. You're doing it wrong. I've never had that happen. So, people are pretty open to different drafting styles, as long as you're getting what you want. Next on the needles, I have something that I am doing next on the needles. As soon as I get this shawl off the needles, I'm casting on a new shawl, because that's how I roll.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the Alice shawl, which was a exclusive pattern to the Loopy U. And our friend Lynn Zim just got the rights back. And Lynn has a niece named Megan who has had cancer and had to have a bone marrow transplant.
Mm-hmm.
So all the proceeds from this pattern are going to help pay for some of Megan's medical costs. So all that is on her page, and I've linked the page in the show notes, and this is what I am going to use. This is the Stella Polaris, colorway of Volmiza DK. The pattern does call for around 468 yards of a DK weight, but Lynn is awesome and gives directions on different kinds of yarns that she gives, like, you should probably use a semi-solid to make it come out correctly. But
it's knit side to side, correct?
Yeah,
so
you could
measure,
make it work,
and then
yeah.
adjust as necessary.
So I happened to get this one. The kit, the original kit, came with this, Elsa, but I managed to score an extra Elsa, and this is going to become a sweater's worth for me. It's actually going to become a Goodale, because one of the things we did at SSK was a try-it-on room, and I tried on someone's Goodale, and I liked it a lot. So anyway, this is going to be Alice. It's going to a great cause. I highly encourage y'all to check out the pattern.
And so for those of you that mostly just listen versus watch, like Jasmine, it's ALLIS.
So, or you can look at patterns by Lynn Zimmerman.
Yep.
On Ravelry, and I can't think of a better cause. So.
Yeah. I had no idea how much it cost to treat cancer until I had, Lynn talked to me about it, because that's what her, family is going through, and it is astronomical.
That's why they sell stuff like cancer insurance, but you would never think to get that for a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
She's, Megan's going to be a 6th grader. I mean,
yeah.
So, and actually, Lynn has linked her update page in the pattern, so you can see exactly what's going on with Megan, which is also very cool. Like, she was able to get up and walk and go places for the first time since she had the transplant, so super cool. Yeah. So I highly encourage you to check that out. We have a bunch of things for favorite things. It's been one of those favorite things type weeks. We do have a giveaway, and it's a very cool giveaway. So I showed you all this big, huge bag earlier, and this is definitely what I would consider a sweater size bag.
Oh, yeah.
And it also comes... Yep, I like your raccoons. I like my books, though, too. It also comes, let me dig down to the bottom, with a cool matching pouch.
Yep.
And I like the little details. Like, there's a ring right there that you could attach easily. There's a zipper pull that comes with it.
The Notions pouch actually has a flat bottom on it.
Yep. All these are flat bottom bags. Nice strong zippers.
They are huge, like, in comparison to my head. It's folded in half, and it's still bigger than my head.
They have both a carrying strap, and then if you wanted to get a carabiner, there's a hoop on the other side. So you could attach it to other bags with a carabiner. Or I tend to carabine bags to my jeans.
The loops on your belt?
Yeah, my loops, my belt loops. And knit out of those. So that these bags are by...
Awesome Granny.
Yep, bags by Awesome Granny. Actually, she has it written out on the back, so it makes the thing bag. Ha ha ha! That's awesome. She's a very cool person. She has just gotten back from vacation. She was motorcycling around the U.S., which I can always appreciate because my parents are big motorcyclists. But that is her shop, and she's going to give one of you one of her bags. So just hop on over to her shop, tell us the style or fabric that you like the best, and we'll have a thread in our TheKnitGirlls Ravelry group, which is where a lot of awesome stuff goes on. If you're not a member of that group, that's where we do all our contests. It's where all the Stash Dash stuff is going on, expand your horizons, and some other cool stuff, which we are going to elaborate on in a second. So all that is going on over in the TheKnitGirlls Ravelry group.
And we'll pull for a winner for the bag next time we record.
Yep. So Stash Dash. Leslie has already won at her Stash Dash thing. That's old news.
That is.
I have not. I have around 600 more yards to go, I think. So,
Does that include your shawl? Because you could just be done with it with your shawl.
Yeah, I think so. I have to go through and do because I am going to do a post. So I need to go and actually post everything. But I was scrolling through Instagram yesterday, and I was at like 4,800 just by what I could count on Instagram. So, and I know I have some stuff that I haven't posted on Instagram.
Yeah.
So, I think I'm almost there because it's a 5K.
Yep. It's 5,400 and something yards.
So yeah, I'm getting close, and it goes through August something 7th. I think I put.
Yeah, I don't know. This is all you.
This is all me. So it goes through. Let me look now because it's gonna drive me crazy. It goes through it doesn't go through my first day of school, which people are saying, man, you go back to school early. No, I go back to school before that. I'm back at school. I've been back at school for a little bit since we got back from SSK. The first day with the kids is coming up. So let's see. Stash Dash. Ha ha ha. All the S's. So Stash Dash ends. There's so many pictures. I'm scrolling up and up and up. 8-7. So, and it's 5,468 yards or 5 kilometers. So, you can totally check out all the details in the Stash Dash thread.
Mm-hmm.
It's all there. If you're having problems editing your post, let me know and I will try to help you as much as I possibly can. But when it gets picture heavy, you just saw how long it took me to scroll up because it's got to load. If you hit the edit button, it will jump you down a few posts. Just scroll back up and you'll see your edit box up there. So Stash Dash is coming to an end, but I will be successful and I will defeat Stash Dash. I've been successful every year. I can't let it down. This year.
This is my first year I've been successful.
Really? Guess what I found? I was mailing stuff to Leslie and I needed a small mailing envelope. That was the first year I think we did Stash Dash.
Yeah, those cost so much more to mail than we expected.
They did. It was a little bit crazy. Blew the budget on that one. Especially overseas, and I had to fill out customs forms
for a pin.
And I was like, this is the most ridiculous thing ever. Anyway. Expand your horizons. Expand your horizons is coming up. I'm reaching over here because we are doing silk hankies. And this is for knitters and spinners this time. Because silk hankies is just a form of silk.
Stretched out over a frame.
Yep. And if you're a knitter, you can actually peel one of these apart. And the staple length on them is so long that if you break it in the middle and kind of stretch it, and stretch and stretch and stretch and stretch and stretch, you can knit straight with the silk.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I've done that, you can see all the silk. And that didn't break, but you can continue stretching and make it kind of even, and you can just knit straight with that. Or you can spin it if you're a spinner. So Expand Your Horizons for August is silk hankies. I'm really excited to see what y'all come up with. I have some dyed ones somewhere around here.
I think I have some dyed ones somewhere too.
But I also have these ones, so I might do a combination. I might dye these, actually, before I spin them, but we'll see. That would involve finding my jacquard dyes. So we'll see. So Expand Your Horizons for August is silk hankies, which is super cool. One of our good friends of the show, Stitches Please, is doing a Kickstarter to start her own indie yarn dyeing business. Speaking of dyeing. It is called Color Me Happy. She's actually already fully funded, but I wanted to let y'all know about this because she is one of the levels of donation gets you a skein of yarn.
Yeah, there's still a bunch of rewards available, even though she is fully funded.
Yep, so I wanted you to check that out. We've met her at Maryland for 3 years now.
Yep.
and she's super sweet, and she's got an adorable child.
Yep, a little boy.
Yep, check her out. We got presents at SSK, and not like we got lots of presents, but the best present.
We did. We were. So I knew about Laura's.
I can't even hold it up. It's so big.
It is enormous. That blanket is huge. It's probably like 8 feet by 7 feet. It's huge.
It's awesome, and I slept in it every night at SSK. I folded it so that the tags. It's totally like pulling my headphones out. So that the tags were on the inside, and so I slept underneath it so Leslie couldn't freeze me out every single night. I have a plan. That's why the tags are still on there. I'm going to photograph each and every square and do something with it and send thank yous. PMs on Ravelry, hopefully. There's a lot of squares, y'all. But I just wanted to say thank you so much. Y'all are helping make my house into a home, and it's really, really... I can't believe y'all did this. It's really, really sweet.
I have one too.
And Leslie has one too, not to be outdone by my giant blanket of purpley awesomeness.
This is only a third of it. It's too big. I can't get it all up
Mine's
there.
Easily a queen, if not king size.
Yeah, I think mine is probably more twin-sized, but I also don't... I lost an earbud. Dang it.
Your blanket is, these blankets will take out an earbud.
It's so nice to just, like, pick one of the tags and read it.
Yes.
People are very kind. Overly kind, I would say. I just realized Mrs. Campbell sent me a little donut stitch marker. That's so cute.
Aww.
Anyway, it's huge and enormous, and like Laura, I'm not taking the tags off until I have thanked everyone who has sent it to me. So, that's the project for the next couple of weeks, is to actually get everything photographed and to send people thank you notes, because that is very, very kind. And also to the people that seamed the blanket, holy crap.
Thank you, Crystal. You're super sweet.
Yes. And I think JB also helped on the red one. So
it was super sweet and a great surprise at SSK.
Yes, it was very cool because that takes a lot of time to plan and...
Oh yeah, and orchestrate and get, and yeah, that's amazing. So thank you all so much.
I would never undertake such a crazy plan.
You did for Claudia. Shut your mouth.
No, but that one was 5 by 5. That was 25 squares. That is a totally different animal than what these are.
These are amazing. So thank you all so much.
So speaking of SSK...
Before we get into SSK, because I love SSK, but I know that some people are sad when they hear about events they could not attend. We do have one last little announcement about Spinzilla. So we are doing a Spinzilla team this year, and Spinzilla actually gave us the option of spending, what was it, $250 and filling our team with ringers, and we said, no way. We are going to do this fair and square. We're going to win by our own willpower and awesomeness of our viewers. We don't need ringers. We can do this. So if you're interested in Spinzilla is a week-long spinning event in October. And it is craziness.
It's like the 6th through the 12th or something.
And it's basically a contest to see what team can spin the most yardage in a week. And we came in second last year.
Yeah.
So
this year there is one really major change in that they count your plying as additional yardage. So if you have 100 yards on 2 separate bobbins and you ply it together, you get the yardage for and let's say it's 100 yards plied, you also get the 100 yards for each single, so you get 300 yards for that. So, which was not the case last year.
No. And another cool thing is they're allowing internationals to participate.
Yes, that's true.
So anyone can participate this year. But we are committed to winning. So
we're going to give it the old college try. It costs $10 to participate, to join a team, and that all goes to the Needle Arts Mentoring Program, which brings needlecrafts into at-risk youth programs.
Yep. And it is a crazy commitment. So
it is.
All right, SSK. Oh, did we say that signups are August 4th for Spinzilla for the teams? Not. Okay, signups are August 4th, and I might have Leslie sign up for me because that's my first full day back, and I can't be like, "Hey, new boss,
be right back."
Gotta go sign up for this crazy spinning thing. Although he's probably already heard about my craziness. So, anyway. SSK. So SSK was amazing. It was probably, I think, the best year that we've ever had. We added a bunch of new stuff, including tutus. So
yes, which to Laura's surprise were a hit.
I was a tutu doubter, I will say. When Leslie told me how much she was spending on tutu supplies, and I was like, and it was kind of last minute too, so it wasn't something that we had really talked up. And I was just like, okay.
Okay.
And then I told her she had to do a poll on the SSK forum, and at least 50 people had to say that they would do it in order for us to have tutus. And I would say 99% of the people who went to SSK, including myself, Leslie, Beck, and Amy, made tutus. I don't think Mama Linneman made a tutu. I think she's that lone 1%.
I think she escaped the tutus. I think she's probably made her fair share of tutus.
I think she has for her granddaughters for sure. So we added that. We added the try it on room, which I think was my favorite part of SSK this year. Because you walk into this room and you see so many people, it mixed it up a little bit more too, because you went in and you try something on and people would be like, oh my god, that looks fabulous. And you'd have people that you didn't really know say, oh, I love that on you. You should totally do this with it. And let's talk about fiber content, and let's talk about this and that. And that looks awesome. We'll try this on too. And it was just amazing. And I know for a fact that several of the sweaters that were in the try it on room were gifted to people who they fit a little bit better.
Which is always a nice outcome. And it was really nice because we also had Amy Herzog, who is just super duper duper sweet, come in and was helping.
She had
people.
All her models from her class.
Yeah, like she volunteered on her own to come in and help people understand what shapes would work best for them and why this particular cut was more flattering on this particular body than that one. And like it was having like the sweater guru in there was super awesome.
And then Laura Nelkin was also there, and she was helping style shawls on people and was like, well, this is how I like to wear this style shawl. And I actually took a picture of how Thin Ice got styled on Crafty Tiffany, because the way she styled it was amazing. And would never, I mean, that was not how, as the designer, I was like, oh my god, that looks 100 times better. Next time I take photographs of the shawl, I'm totally using that. Like, that's amazing. Yeah. So we had the best, and Malia was, all our teachers were in there at one point. It was awesomeness. We probably had easily 300 different garments in there. It was just incredible, and I'm saving all my tags off my garments so I don't have to re-tag stuff next year.
Yeah, I think that it's mandatory that we do that again, and I think that it wasn't something we talked about a ton, so some people were a little intimidated to bring their stuff, so I think that we'll talk it up more next year to have more people bring their own things.
Yeah.
To try them on. Because there were a lot of things in my size and Laura's size and Amy's size, but not so much in some of the other sizes.
Yeah.
So I think that it'll be useful to have people bring their items to just help. And we didn't lose anything. Woohoo!
I know. Super
we had
exciting.
Some really, really awesome helpers. We had Laura's sister Beck, who is Lemon Half. We had my friend Gwen, who is GS1998. Well, she's your friend now too. And Amy, Froggy Monkey.
And Biscuit Girl really helped out.
Oh yeah, she did in the try-it-on room. She was super duper helpful. I just want to take her tiny self and put it in my little pocket.
She's super sweet.
She was very nice. So that was a really good time. I feel like mentioning anything about SSK is just going to be like a wheelbarrow of hyperbole, because super and awesome and wonderful, and they just don't really cover it. Like, we had several people tell us this was the best weekend of their life. And that's not, I mean, that's like so far above what we aim for that it's very flattering and humbling. And we've gotten some really good feedback on the survey. We sent out a survey. So if you were an attendee and you didn't get a survey, let me know and I'll resend it to you. But we already had several people fill it out, so I know it got to people. But I've got some better ideas on door prize distribution for next year, and we may or may not do the games next year. There just wasn't a ton of time for that, and we want to make sure we have a balance of like downtime and stuff time.
Well, SSK is what you make out of it.
That's
like,
very
you
true.
Can put
you
in
don't
a lot
have to participate in the tasting room or the try-it-on room. Those are all optional free things. But you could also just sit and knit or sit and spin. And some of our more introverted people, that's what they did. And they still had a good time. So that's very true. It is what you make of it. We try to provide, fun things to do. But it definitely is what you make of it.
And that's really why it was the best year ever, because the people that we had that attended were so
very
positive
chill
and energetic and just really, really awesome. And they have been in years past, too, but this year, I think, like, third time was the charm for us.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm worried that next year won't be as good, honestly. I've already got that, like, sinking fear. But I agree. I don't know whether, like, what stars aligned, but it was definitely...
The weather was amazing, too.
That's true.
I think,
the weather was only
when it's
like,
nice and cool.
Yeah, the 80s.
Like, I know I'm more comfortable, so I think
true.
that was a good part of it, too.
It was really, really great. And the center, the people that work at the center always love having us.
Joanne sent me the sweetest email that I need to reply to.
Yeah.
Like,
so we have several people that we know on a first name basis that work there. The convention director, the hotel administrator lady. And
they were up making tutus too. Like, they totally got into the spirit of it.
It was really, really wonderful. I wish that I could make a living throwing these every few months so that more people could have fun. I just can't make that work. When it becomes for profit, then there's not... It's more stressful. But I think one a year is enough. We will open lottery signups for the next one sometime in August.
If you're a vendor, and we're taking vendor applications starting now through the end of August. So,
just go to supersummerknittogether.com.
Yep.
And there's, under who's vending, you can, or under lottery entry, there's a drop down and you can submit your application. We have limited space, and this year I think we found the perfect layout.
I think so too. That
so
was a big
we're
part
not
of it
changing it. We have that many number of booths and that many number of tables, and that's just it. I think that it was great. I think it was wonderful. I came home very happy, and aside from being really tired, I didn't have any kind of problems at all.
SSK like re-energizes my creative spirit, because you see so many awesome things and so many awesome people.
I want to knit all the sweaters now, and I want to knit all the shawls now, and it's like, there's so many things I want to do.
And then it became 100 degrees in Mississippi, and I was like, okay.
And we did some damage at the market.
We did.
I
think we're going to show those as we knit them up.
Yes.
Because I'm going on a yarn diet. I am. I'm not buying any yarn.
I have several things that are coming up this year still, so I can't really say that.
Yeah. I'm not going to any events right now until maybe Knitting Pipeline in the spring. So I have the ability to be good at least through Christmas. Gifts don't count. My ongoing clubs don't count, so it's easy. Because I'm not giving up my Hello Yarn or my Into the World Club because I'm going on a yarn diet.
Cold dead hands, that Hello Yarn Club. You'll never.
Seriously. And now I just got into Southern Cross last month, so that's like another, not going to happen.
I have Rhinebeck this year. I'm tossing around the idea of Shenandoah. I really love going because I get to hang out with awesome people. But so I get a lot of time with like Jamie and Emily and Michelle, happy to run. But it's a small festival, so it's hard to justify a 5-hour drive for that. So we'll see. And so that's actually before Rhinebeck, I think.
That's in September, I think.
Yeah, and my company is opening a property in Maryland. So at the end of August, I'll be spending a week and a half in Maryland. So there's a lot of time that I'll be away from home. So
yeah,
it's hard to, like, there are things I've already obligated myself to, but I'm trying not to further obligate myself if I can avoid it. That's it, I think. There's so much we could talk about with SSK. Like, we could gush for an hour. And if anybody has any specific questions about it, feel free to ask it in this episode thread. I don't really know what you guys want to know, and if you really want to hear us talk about it for lots of time. Like, I know several podcasters already have, so... And thank you for giving us good reviews. It was a lot of fun. It was a really good year. I hope that we can match this year, next year.
Yeah.
So.
That's always...
Oh, do we want to talk about the teachers that we already have lined up for next year?
Sure. So next year we already have 2 teachers lined up. They are Susan B. Anderson.
Who is our
who's
first...
awesome.
Our first repeat
returning,
teacher.
Yeah.
Because we have had so many people come to us and say, she was wonderful, I would really love to take another class from her. Like, we have so much very direct communication from people about her that...
And Mama Linneman was like, she needs to come back. Which always is like, okay.
I think we've had great luck with all our teachers, and I would love to have them all back at some point in time.
We always are. We're not going to have
repeat.
teachers ever back-to-back years. We always want to have a year at least between.
Yeah. So she'll be back next year. We haven't decided on what classes we're going to have her teach yet, but that'll be later. And one of mine and Laura's sort of like spinning idols is coming. Sarah
Anderson. I was joking with Leslie, and I was like, we can only hire Andersons for next year. That's all that can be done.
So Sarah Anderson is the author of the Spinner's Book of Yarn. And she's also part of, I think she's part of Kat Bordy's innovative...
She is. Press. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what they're called. Innovative Writers or Innovative something. And she is really wonderful and personable and funny and is very easy to learn from. So we're very excited about her as well. We have the other teachers we're working on pinning down. We have several options that we're trying to figure out what's going to work best for our people that are coming. So,
and we'll have those nailed down by the time we
do sign-ups. Oh, yeah. So you'll know who the teachers are before you
and who the vendor market people are.
Yeah,
so.
Hopefully, yeah. But that's it, I think.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I don't think so.
You're so pretty.
You're so pretty.
Your hair all pretty.
That's because I was too lazy to put it up, and now I'm totally regretting it because my ceiling fan's on, and I'm like, get out of my face, hair.
I know, like, I always want long hair, but all I ever do is pull it back. So...
It's getting there. I want it to grow out a little bit more. It'll get less curly the longer it gets.
Oh.
So.
It was nice to see Tara at SSK with her, like, super tight curls. I love those. I want those, like, super, like, Shirley Temple curls.
There you go.
Anyway, we blathered for an hour. That's plenty of time.
Yep. We'll have a great book review next week.
Yep.
And, lots and lots of things to talk about. Hopefully I'll accomplish all my goals. So I'll have a finished object for the first time in like a month. Yay! And we will see y'all next week.
Yep.
Bye, y'all.